So what's up, guys? This is Pass It Back Podcast, man. We're doing a car ride, and we have a special guest, man. Uh-oh. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Glad to be on.
Yeah, we got Ian right here, man. Chris in the back.
What's up, y'all?
Jacob driving today.
Got it, man. So on this episode, man, we're going to be talking about the Astros and who we got in Wilder versus Fury. So y'all stay tuned. All right, man. We finna get started. The Astros cheating scandal, man. So what are y'all guys' opinions on Astros cheating scandal? So we're gonna start with Ian. That's his favorite baseball team, man. So what are you thinking, Ian?
Well, here's my thing. It's not like baseball. It's not how baseball should work. But I mean, you're going against a team that has multiple all-stars. Multiple. Yes, I'm not favoring the Astros. They are my team, but they didn't really do anything wrong, in my opinion. I mean,
you think everybody does this to a degree?
I mean, yes. I mean, it's baseball. You have to change up your signs. You can't just keep the same things. You can't keep. It's just it's where you think about it. I mean, you might have a different opinion than I do, but to me, they won that whole entire series fair game. That was their series. They went to 7 games. If they were actually cheating this entire time, they would have won that in 4 games.
So Chris is finna give us, since his Yankees was beat by the Astros, he's finna give us what he think about it.
They finna die. This finna be a long season, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, their own fans have pages on websites that are already like, we're not going to games. We not putting up signs. And it's crazy. Like, thousands of people have signed them things. And so, like, especially if you from the outside watching in, you looking like, dang, like, and especially playing baseball 15 plus years, like, everybody still signs. Everybody know that. But in the way that everybody still signs is binoculars and stuff. We use binoculars saying, who's warming up, What's he got to bring to the mound, to the box, whatever. But, and the thing is, like, me having 10 plus years pitching experience, changing signs in between legs and going 3, 2, 1, whatever, you get into a rhythm doing that. So I feel like if you still in signs like that, that's a whole different level. And also, the catcher's doing everything he can to block. There's a reason why a catcher holds his glove right here on his knee. So the third base coach can't see that. There's a reason why he holds his other hand on his elbow right here to block the other knee. So it's like, and once you get to that rhythm all year, you're doing the same signs. You learn those signs in spring training, you can't change that. So I feel like, they finna have a long season. I feel like attendance is gonna drop like crazy. Some of them might be hurt. I feel like Springer's gonna leave, definitely. I feel like Correa is bound to leave eventually, but it's gonna take a couple years for them to even get back to normal. But I just feel like they are now the most hated team in baseball, but I don't know.
Bro, they
have to have a good year in order to get respect from people. They will have to win over 95 games.
Oh, they're still contenders, though.
So we're gonna see.
They're still contenders, I think.
Bro, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, Vegas already, like,
83.5.
Yeah, to get hit by pitch, like the team that get hit by pitches. That's crazy, bro. And then, like, you have all the different athletes, like, commenting, like, Mark Kakis saying that they deserve a beating, and you got LeBron backing up the baseball players on cheating and everything, and then you got some other players, like Mike Trout, saying he lost respect for some people.
Dude, if Mike Trout said something, that's crazy. Mike Trout is the nicest person. Like, if you put him on a video game, his loyalty rating would be 99. He's that loyal. Like, if he said something, that's pretty crazy, bro. He literally did not leave the Angels when he was offered over $50 million more by other teams. Like, that's super loyal. So I think if Mike Trout came out and said something and he never says anything, that's major.
So yeah, I'm gonna get to you, Jacob, while you driving. What you thinking, bro?
I'm a good middle ground on this. I mean, I agree with some of the stuff Chris says. I agree with some of the stuff Ian says. So honestly, going to like the different players saying stuff like, oh, they deserve a beating, oh, they need, like, we're gonna, like, pitchers saying they're purposefully gonna hit them and stuff like that. That's not okay. That's not okay to wish harm or say you're going to inflict harm on another human being. Yeah, what they did was wrong, and probably deserve maybe a little more punishment than they got. I agree with some people saying that. But, like, there's, like Ian was saying, there's death threats going around on players, and, like, even Josh Reddick's kids. Someone said, like, talking about wishing cancer upon his kids. Come on now, that's not okay. That's not okay. It's a freaking baseball game. Now you're talking about people's lives and families, that bringing them into it. Like, that is not okay. That is some BS, and it infuriates me. So, but, like, going back to, like, inflicting harm and then, like, talking mess on the Astros between other players, like, in interviews, they are sitting there talking mess knowing damn well that their organizations are cheating as well. Maybe not as bad as what the Astros did. Everybody cheats. I guarantee you, all 30 teams are out there cheating in some way, form, or fashion. The Astros did it just in an outrageous fashion and got caught. It's crazy because you'll see fans attacking Astros fans, and it's just like the Astros fans are like the main victims here, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like they were like so into this team. They were
When that
on
Harvey?
this team, and yeah, that was during Harvey and stuff like that. They were all for this team. They were for that underdog story because the Astros sucked for years. Everybody knows this.
Yep.
And then they get hot. They get all these players. They get all these all-stars on their team, and they start winning. And the Astros fan base goes wild because they are so used to not winning. So honestly, like, just going for that underdog story and going for that team, the Astros fan base is the main victims in this scandal. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. It's something that I never thought would happen, but it's here, and it's crazy. So, I mean, I guess overall, it's just the Astros did something wrong, but a lot of people are blowing this way out of proportion. They really are. They're acting like it's the end of baseball. It's like, man, we got through the steroid era. We can get through this. It's not the end of baseball. It's not the end of the world like some people are saying it is.
I mean, it's nothing different than like a scouting report. So, like, if you play a game of baseball and you're on deck, and let's say your teammate just got done batting. He's gonna come up to you and say, "Hey, watch that curveball on the outside. Watch his fastball." Like, you look at pitches, and also every team has screens in their dugout. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but every team has a screen. I mean, you'll see pitches thrown. You'll see how the hitters are hitting. I mean, we live in a technology era now. We don't, like, back in the 90s, they didn't have all this. You know, that, like Jacob said, the steroid era.
Going back to, like, those games, like the series against the Yankees and, like, the Dodgers and stuff like that. So, mainly for, like, the Yankee series, the Astros pitchers absolutely shut them down. So, I feel like even without the cheating and everything, they still had those games in the bag. I mean, those Astros pitchers had the Yankees down locked, like, straight up.
McCullers threw, like, 30 curveballs in a row or something like that, and he just straight up obliterated that team. Verlander made him look silly.
And
made him look
and then
silly.
going to the Dodgers World Series, that right there, the Dodgers had every chance to win that series, and they probably should have won that series. So, honestly, I feel like that is more of the Dodgers losing the series rather than the Astros winning, even if they did cheat. Like, that's just how I see it. The Dodgers should have won that. They had it in the bag, and they lost it. That's how I see it.
So, yeah, man. So, as far as, like, my opinion goes, like, the whole thing, like, since, of course, we've all played baseball our entire lives, like, of course, like, sign stealing is a part of the game. You know, stealing signs, but, you know, being on second, that's what you do. You look at the catcher and you steal his signs, and you relay it back to the dugout, or you lay it back to the coach, and then, like, you give, like, whatever sign you would give to the batter, let him know if it's a fastball or off-speed pitch. So, but, like, the thing that, of course, that's wrong, of course, is the video. You can't use video. I don't believe you should be able to use video. And also, too, man, but, like, at the same time, like, these players are going in on these people, and like at the same time they're contradicting themselves, because like you can't tell me that they at some point they didn't use screen or anything during those games, you know. And I think also too, man, like if you want to stop this stuff, like you gotta just stop all that, because like they're gonna find a different way to cheat again, I think, in my opinion. So I think just cut the middleman out, cut the catcher out, cut the signs out, put the earpiece in the pitcher's ear, and just tell it like they do in football, and just have like a little sign sheet over your mouth so people can't read what you're saying. And so like I think that would help with like the speed of the game too, because like all the coach would have to say, you know, fastball outside, and then like he gets the sign, and then the speed of the game would be a lot faster. So I think that would be a good solution to stopping this thing for at least a while until the next thing pops up. And so, but I think, do I feel bad for the Astros? Not really. I mean, do I think they should be getting targeted by pitchers and stuff like that? No, I don't think that's right either. But at the same time, it is what it is. I do think they should have got a better punishment, just a little bit better punishment. Now, I am saying they should strip the trophy away or strip Altuve's MVP away or anything like that. But I think they should have a better punishment. But at the same time, baseball is just in a bad place, man, because with that Commissioner Manfred, he's just he called the trophy a piece of metal, and he just like literally just slapped the entire MLB teams, coaches, everything by saying that it's a piece of metal and that it's just, you know, it's just whatever.
He's talking mess on the league that he runs. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm glad you said that, because that's something I did want to bring up. It's just that commissioner. He's probably the biggest loser out of this whole thing. It's not even the Astros are the biggest losers. Anything. I feel like he is just the one that's mainly just been the biggest loss in the whole thing. Like that is ridiculous. And I liked a lot of what you said, Miles. I totally agree. They deserve maybe a little harsher punishment. Maybe, I mean, you could talk mess a little bit, but once you get over that line of like just bringing and hurting, like inflicting pain and like bringing families into it, it's just too much. Like it's kind of a back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah, like the kicker for me, man, it's like what Ian said, like the Astros are good, man. I don't think they could have won them games without using the sign stealing. I honestly think that like they're a really good team. And so, but it's sad that they used that, you know, tactic, but I think other teams were using it. Like I think the Red Sox should be getting a little bit flack of all this stuff.
They are getting out without a scratch pretty much. For the most part.
Cora was there with the Astros. He was on the 17 World Series as a coach. So, I mean, if you look back at those games, you could see that, you know, it was a hitting duel, because, you know, it would be somebody would hit a home run and then the Astros would be down. And then come up, they hit a home run, and those games were back and forth. That was one of the best series I've ever seen in my entire life. As a baseball fan and as an Astros fan.
Probably the greatest World Series
I've
absolutely.
Ever watched. Absolutely. And, I mean, going back to my point, they deserve that series. And I'm sorry, I know the Dodgers are mad, but you went to 2 World Series and you lost. That's not anybody else's fault but yours. Y'all couldn't produce anything.
And I see this whole situation more as a management and coaching problem more than a player thing. I mean, of course, I'm not saying the players are completely innocent. They're not. They were just as much as a part of it. But, I mean, if it wasn't like a management and coaching problem, then it wouldn't have happened. If it was just the players who wanted to do this and management was like, no, we're not doing this, I'm putting it more on them, man. Like, that's just how I see it.
And as much as I like AJ Hinch, I think him getting fired and first being suspended, then being fired by Jim Crane, and Jeff Howe, the general manager, I feel like that was the right thing to do. As much as I liked Hitch, it was he kind of deserved it.